Rerum Novarum encyclical is issued by Pope Leo VIII in 1891 and considered by many conservative Roman Catholics to be extremely progressive. It enunciated the late 19th century Catholic position on social justice, especially in relation to the problems created by industrial revolution. It emphasized the Church's right to make pronouncement on social issues as they are related to moral questions. This groundbreaking social encyclical addresses the dehumanizing conditions in which many labor workers and affirm labors to have rights to just wages, rest, and fair treatment, to form unions and to strike if necessary. The relationship between employers and employees was changing dramatically. Individuals had become wealthy, but most remained poor even though they worked hard. The Church recognizes the lack of workers' union contributed to an unjust situation, where many workers in condition is a little better than slavery. One solution proposed by socialists was to eliminate private property altogether. The socialists, working on the poor man's envy of the rich, are striving to do away with private property, and contend that individual possession should become the common property of all, to be administered by the state. They hold that by thus transferring property from private individuals to the community, the present mischievous state of things will set to rights, inasmuch as each citizen will get their fair share of whatever there is to enjoy. But the arguments are clearly powerless to end the controversy that were carried into effect. The working man himself would be the first to suffer. They are moreover emphatically unjust, for they would rob the lawful possessor, distort the function of the state, and create utter confusion in the community. But Pope Leo VIII dismisses this solution because, according to him, every man has, by nature, the right to possess property as his own. He also notes that the impelling reason and motive of his work is to obtain property. So instead of helping the working class, the elimination of private property would only hurt those it was intended to benefit. Private ownership is not only lawful, but an absolute necessary. In addition, the right to property is essential in maintaining the structure of the family. A worker ought to be given the opportunity to live sparingly, save money, and invest his savings in the future. People have become accustomed to working for their own needs. Working enables people to earn an honorable livelihood, but using employees as mere object is very wrong. Workers and rich are dependent upon each other. The employer should respect the dignity of each employee and shouldn't view them as slaves. Working and employees ought to be free to negotiate and come to an agreement, but natural justice must ensure that wages are sufficient to support a frugal and well-behaved wage earner. To ensure that these rights and duties are maintained, workers' associations have to exist to work towards the common good. It is important to remember that we were not created for this world, but rather for everlasting life with God. Rights must be religiously respected wherever they exist. It is the duty of the public authority to prevent and to punish injury, and to protect everyone in the possession of his own. Still, when there is a question of defending the rights of individuals, the poor and the badly off have a claim to special consideration. The richer class have many ways of shielding themselves and stand less in need of help from the state, whereas the mass of the poor have no resources of their own to fall back upon, and must chiefly depend upon the assistance of the state. And it is for the reason that wage earners, since they mostly belong to the mass of the needy, should be especially cared for and protected by the government. With this in mind, association of workers and employees ought to do what is best for the body, soul, and property of all involved.
It's the wrong time to surrender. Light me up and skip.